Hi ladies, let's talk today about using stencils with your stamping. So I have our Daisy Meadows card making stamp set, which is pretty perfect considering tomorrow is Easter Sunday. And we are gonna use that to create a really cute card. And we're also gonna use a stencil. So I have the stencil right here. I chose this one, which I believe comes in stencil pack 3. And it's a series of circles that gradiate in size. So they start big and they get small. Super fun. I'm gonna put my mess mat down for this part of my project and my card base on top of that, and then my stencil. Now I want to make sure I have lots of coverage, so I'm gonna start my stencil in one spot and gradiate out. But I was just looking to see if I have any of my paint tape left, and somebody, I could probably guess who that somebody is, has snagged it. So usually I would tack this down because that's how you're gonna ensure that there's no movement of your stencil, but I'll just have to be really careful. To color my stencil, I'm using Abandoned Coral in the Distress Oxide, and I'm just gonna pick that up, and then starting at the top, just give that a great circular motion to add color. So the nice thing about adding stencils into your projects, whether it be card making or scrapbooking, and you can do this with both, the really nice thing is that it creates a really unique, one-of-a-kind look. This is not a paper I have. I don't have to add any extra paper. I just have my card base. It could be a white piece of cardstock. It could be a piece of cardstock that you like, but it's just not perfect, that you need to add something a little bit more to, and you can get a really unique look and design. You could even do this on top of pattern paper and really change the look of that pattern paper. So here's my finished card base. Fun. And I'm just gonna wipe this clean so that I don't end up with ink everywhere, because that is what will happen. As many of you well know, we try to be clean as crafters, but it doesn't always work. All right, clean off all that. Okay, now we're done the background with our stencil. We have this really fun, unique geometric pattern going on, and I'm gonna bring in my next part of the project, which is the die cuts from the stamp set that I showed you, Daisy Meadows. So I've got my bunny, his little feet, or her little feet, and the sign. So we are gonna add these to our project next. So I'm gonna start with the sign. I'm gonna add that to the block. And I have used this before, but because it's a really flat, large piece, I'm just gonna do some seasoning on it again to make sure I've got a really good connection. I'm using a light color glacier because I want to stamp on the sign after. I'm gonna line this up. And I definitely wanna make sure I'm using the sponge when I do this, because that's gonna ensure with these wide, flat stamps, you really need the surface beneath to have some cushion to get a really good connection between the two. Perfect. Then I can clean that and bring in the next part of my image, which is going to be the top of the bunny. Carefully peeling that up. I don't want to tear him. And the bunny outline, I'm going to do an intense black because I can add some marker to this later to add some color to the bunny. And just press firmly to get that great connection. And there's the top of our bunny. Give that a clean. And next we're gonna come in and do his feet. Now, if I wanted to be really fancy, I could try to do both feet at once, but I'm not gonna try that. That's just a recipe, in my opinion, for disaster. For me anyways. Other people might be talented enough to make that work. All right, and his other foot. And there is our stamping almost done because we still have our sign. So the cute thing about this stamp set is we have all these fun little phrases, and I think we are gonna do Happy Birthday. I'm gonna tell you right now, we've been saying Happy Easter around here. Oh, maybe I should do Happy Easter. And Ellery doesn't like it. She doesn't like that you're not saying the word properly. So she gets really mad at us. So maybe I will give this to her as part of her Easter gifties. And I'll just add a little humor to the day. It'll be humorous for us, maybe not for her. We'll enjoy it. And here's the Easter. Now I could be switching this to a smaller block, but this is a block I have close by, and as long as I make sure I don't pick up any ink on the block, it won't transfer to my project. All right, there we go. And now we can start putting together our card. We're just gonna put that over there and this to the side. So I don't want to have to add a whole lot to this. I want this card to speak for itself in all its fun patterns and what's going on. I do want to add some edging. So I'm just going to take the same color and go around to create that definition and a frame. Otherwise the white just kind of disappears off into the universe. And we are going to need to color our bunny next. So I've got 2 markers for that. Pale pink and brown gray. Ooh, I'm glad you love it, Ellen. I'm gonna assume you love that I drive my daughter a little crazy. I can hear her yelling for me upstairs too, which is fun. She doesn't realize what I'm doing, but that's okay. All right, I'm just gonna add a little bit of color to my friend here. You don't have to do all the places when you color and do some shading. You can do parts of him or just aspects. You can make it a spotted bunny. You could color the whole bunny if you wanted to. I am going to color his feet. I feel like our feet take a lot of wear and tear. And I think bunny feet probably do too. So I think the fur would be slightly darker on them. Kind of similar to my dogs. The fur on their paws is always a little darker. And then I have this great pale pink marker, and that's a really nice soft pink, perfect for adding the sweet little touches on a bunny, like his inside of his ears, and maybe on his cheeks. There we go. Now I've got his sign. And I'm going to come in with some foam tape. And the sign is really what's going to start this all. So the idea is the bunny holds on to the sign, and then his feet will come like this. So that's going to be our background. Now I feel it's missing something. So we can bring in a thin cut that can help to just add a little bit to that. So looking through, you can help me decide. I've got lots of different thin cuts, lots of different ideas. I don't want a square or a rectangle, maybe just a simple shape. Well, I think I'm gonna go with this. Or maybe I'll just leave it. I don't know. It's so hard to decide. Okay, this is one of our rectangle frames. These frames are awesome. If you have not checked these out, I promise you, you're missing out. They are used all the time. I'm gonna put this down. It will cut 2 different shapes when I run this through the machine. And I'll show you how they look when they come out. Wait 1 second. It's running through, but it's a long mat. Okay. And I know I want the inner shape. So if the outer shape's not perfect, oh, it is. See, I've got the outer frame that if I pop this out you'll see that stitch frame, but now I also have this inner stitched frame. That is why this set is awesome. You have two pieces to play with. I want the inner. I'm gonna add some glue. This is just gonna add a little bit of white in the background to help define what we have going on. And these are proportionate to the card bases of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I don't have to worry about the spacing being odd or anything like that. Again, a huge win. Put that there. And now I can start adding my features for my bunny. There's our Happy Easter sign. Then I'm gonna come in with the bunny body. And all of these will need to be up on foam. And he's holding on to the sign. How cute is that so far? So cute. I maybe could have used a lighter color in the back, but I wanted it to be bright and fun. So I'm okay with it. You could try it out with lots of different colors and see if you find one that you like best. We don't want him to block the sign too much with his big feet. And I could even come in if I decide I want a little more color to him. I could come back in and finish that coloring, which I think I might. It'll help him stand out a little bit. So I might come in, add that great gray that I had outlined him with earlier. I can see already I'm liking this a little better. Look at that. How cute is he? All right, coming up here. I love these markers. They're so smooth to color with. Now remember, we are going to be featuring lots of stamping because not only is stamping our key challenge this month to post a project using a stamp technique, but Stamptacular is on, and there are a ton of stamp sets and stamp sets with thin cuts on sale, some as much as 50% off. So things like what I'm doing right now, you could get at a great discount during the month of April, but you've got to go check those out on my website. All the items are while supplies last. So if something sells out, it'll be gone at that sale price. All right, let's add some darkness up here for his little checkered hair. Maybe a little shading. There we go. A little bit down here. And then I'm gonna add a little more pink to his cheeks now that we've added the rest of that gray in there. There, okay, that is perfect. There's our cute little Happy Easter card. So that is using stencils with your stamping and a fun card just for you today. Have a great weekend. You probably will see me again either Sunday or Monday, depending on how things go. And I hope you have fun. Bye.